Here I go, stepping on Prince's bone again. Hey guys, it's Adam at Birdwood Guitars. I've got the camera set at a funny old angle, so I'm going to bend down so I can hear you guys. I've just come across a guitar neck that I'm repairing at the moment. It's going to be going on a little budget guitar that's going to go into the shop. The last video that I did, I showed you this particular tool. Let me just take it out of the screw, out of the gun for you. So this particular tool here. Now I actually use this 99.9% of the time. I actually use this particular tool to make the dot markers, timber dot markers. So I'll use a piece of scrap timber. I'll find a nice little piece of timber like that, and I'll use that, and I'll drill little pieces out, and I'll use those as the dot markers in the guitar necks. So I've come across a situation today where I actually needed to plug a hole in a headstock. So here's the headstock in question. Now, what had actually happened here, I hope you can see, is you can see where the screw holes are here for the machine heads. Well, as I was sanding, I've noticed that this particular one had been sheared off and it was stuck in there. So I couldn't actually, sometimes if there's a little bit left out, I can actually use a pair of pliers and just get the pliers and very carefully get a hold of it. Even if there's only about two millimeters, I can usually get these pliers and take it out. In this situation, I couldn't. So what I've actually had to do was use this for the actual purpose that it was made for, which was actually to create a borer hole. Now what actually happened was that, if you can imagine this, I'll get out that there, which is just a screwdriver. Can you imagine this is a screw which has been broken off? The idea is that this piece slots over and it cuts around it and creates a hole, and then once you've cut a little bit, making sure you don't go all the way through to the other side of the headstock or the other side of the timber if you don't want to, it then creates a cavity around the screw which you can just simply either pull out or just snap off, and it'll then come out of the hole. And once you've done that, you're left with a hole which I have filled with a little bit of wood glue, and here is a piece of dowel which I've cut down to size, popping it into the cavity or into the hole that's been created. I get my little hammer, give it a couple of love taps. There we go. Now I've got, in this case, a little bit of runoff inside there, so I will use a bit of scrap timber if I've got some. I'll clean that out in just a second, but I'll let you guys go. But now, if you can see there, I've actually got a plug which, once it's dry, I'll be able to use my little Japanese saw file to cut it off, being careful not to cut towards myself, of course, and then I'll be able to sand it flat, and then I'll be able to drill in a new screw hole. So I hope that helps. I bought this from, this particular one was not cheap. I did buy this one from Stu Mac, but I've had it for about 2 years, as I think I mentioned on the last video, and I've used it for hundreds and hundreds of neck dots, and this is actually the very first time I've actually used it for the application that it was intended for, and it's, so far from what I can see, it's actually worked beautifully. You can buy these from your local woodworking stores as well. So that's it. So again, thank you. This is Adam from Birdwood Guitars saying thank you so much. If you like what you're seeing, so please subscribe to the channel. Watching. Bye.